What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Asus Ally gameplay video for you guys today, and today we are going to try out some Remnant 2. Now, Remnant 1 played pretty well, but Remnant 2 played pretty well on the Steam Deck too. Then we got to Remnant 2, and yeah, that didn't go so well on the Steam Deck. Barely was playable. I even said it wasn't the best experience, but if it's all you got, it's somewhat playable. But play at your own discretion. So, let's go and see how the Ally handles it now. Now, as usual, it probably won't let me screen record it, but I'll give it a shot. But if not, we'll come right back here and get ourselves some settings. But first, I think it's time to both charge it and the camera up a little bit. That way we're not in the middle of getting some footage and then all of a sudden I get a low battery or get this thing under 20. I don't like getting my batteries under 20%. But anyway, let's go and have a look at some settings.
All right, well, we're gonna start off at 1080p here. And we're just gonna basically max it out on Ultra, which is probably a dumb idea if I'm honest. It's gonna get like 10 FPS just like it did on the Steam Deck. I'm willing to bet. But hey, we're gonna try it out anyway. And then we'll just go through all the settings, and with including FSR in this case. I think this game is one of those games where will not run properly without some form of upscaling. But anyway, let's hop into the game and find out. So here we are in the game on Ultra 1080p, and yep, just like on the Steam Deck, this is not playable, not gonna work. I mean, we'll still walk around for like 30, 40 seconds, something like that, just like we do on the Steam Deck, but I think we can all agree this is not very playable. Now I will say it's a shame because it looks pretty crisp and nice. Well, are we going to crash even? Yep, we might not have had enough VRAM. It might just be crashing on us. So, hell, even if you wanted to, it looks like you can't play it on those settings. So, on to the next graphics setting, I guess. Well, Ultra at 1080p certainly did not work at all now, did it? We had a crash. So, we're going to try high, but we'll probably be met with about the same thing, and even if we don't, it'll probably happen sooner or later, but we'll still try it anyway, just because we did on the Steam Deck. And we'll still try this at 720p too. We should be able to handle it at least without crashing at 720p. The Steam Deck did. But anyway, let's hop into the game now. Well, here we go again on high at 1080p, and I'm willing to bet we're probably going to crash again. Oh, yep. Looks like we're going to crash before we even get to get any footage. So, yeah, unfortunately, you cannot play on Ultra or high. But that makes sense. I wasn't expecting to anyway, but I still wanted to show you how bad it was. But hey, it runs so bad, the game will straight up crash on you if you attempt to do it. So, in any case, let's go and, yep, there we go, see? We got ourselves a crash reporter. Go away, crash report thing. Close without sending, I don't care. Wow, you're terrible. Wow, terrible. Anyway, on to the next graphics setting as soon as I get this stupid window to go away. Alright, well, we had another insta-crash at high, so don't try high either at all. It wouldn't have worked anyway, even if it didn't crash. So let's try medium at 1080p and see if we can actually get more than like 5 seconds of gameplay, even though this will still probably be like, you know, under 20 FPS. But hey, let's go see what it does. Oh, no, looks like even on medium. I didn't even get to barely start the video before it insta-crashed. So I'm starting to think it just can't do 1080p at all without upscaling, kind of like Ratchet and Clank. Like no matter what we do, it's just going to crash over and over and over again. So, in any case, I guess let's try to go and do low. Alright, well this still probably won't work, and it'll still probably instant crash at 1080p, but let's try low without any upscaling. And if that doesn't work, then we'll turn some upscaling on and try all over again. But let's try to hop into the game, and the key word there is try. Alright, here we try in low. Can I actually walk around? I got to step around so far. It's not saying it won't crash, but okay. Still not playable FPS for the most part here either. Well, sometimes it is, but we were looking at a damn nonsensical wall. So yeah, I think I was right. Just like with the Steam Deck, I don't think, at least at 1080p anyway, I don't think we're playing without upscaling. And this still might crash on us in a couple seconds here. I don't know. Or even
sounds
if
like
it
a
gets
fairy
past
tale to
here,
me.
it still might crash on
Probably
us
just
without
a couple
FSR.
old
I'm not
timers
sure.
holed up underground. I just
But we got
hope
6
they got a
gigs of
few
VRAM.
supplies
I'm just
for
going to leave
trade.
that option on all the time.
Otherwise, we won't last much longer out here.
Figure that'd be good, a good medium.
You
But the
think
Steam
people
Deck
actually
is
live
only
like
running at
this?
720p, 800p, whatever you want to call it. So
Not sure.
it doesn't need as much
I don't
VRAM
know
as this
what's
thing.
in that
This is
Fulton's original
1080p,
blend,
same resolution as my
But
laptop.
I never seen nobody that happy before.
Yeah,
Not in real life.
I always kind of thought that was a little weird too. Alright, well so far so good on the crashing. We're still pretty playable now. They do drop under 30, but even my settings on the Steam Deck dropped under 30 quite often, so that's not saying much. Can you,
Locked.
there we
Great.
go.
You can't turn back now. Ain't got nowhere to go. There's gotta be another way through. It's about time. What took you?
Alright, well so far no crash, that's pretty good. So it looks like if you want to play with no FSR, you have to play on low. I mean, it still might crash on us. Not saying it won't, but at least we're good for now. So, now, let's go turn on some FSR and see how it
Over
does.
here.
Well, now let's do some FSR. So we're going to start with quality, and I'm trying medium out because those are the same settings I ran on the Steam Deck with FSR, so I figured that'd be fair, but it might crash on me, so we might not be able to do that, even with FSR's help. So I might have to just turn around and go right back to low again, but we're going to give it a try, just to try to keep it apples to apples as much as we can. Well, let's try to get some FSR testing here on medium settings. Just like with the Steam Deck, quality is not quite enough at medium anyway to stay above 30, but heck, even with my settings we barely stayed above 30, so that's not saying much. And my settings still needed FSR's help too, let's be honest. So it's not like the Steam Deck was playing this game at 800p native.
You ever hear about the North Pole?
That
Is
old
what it
fairy
is.
tale?
Yeah, like this ward. Old white guy founds it. Food and fresh water, everyone gets along. That sounds like the fairy tale to me. It's probably just a couple of old timers holed up underground. I just hope they got a few supplies for trade. Otherwise, we won't last much longer out here.
Well, we wouldn't want that.
You think people actually live like this?
Not sure.
I don't know what's in that Fulton's original blend, but I never seen nobody that happy before. Not in real life.
Alright, let's get to being able to run now, shall we? Heck yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Oh, holy shit.
locked. Great.
There we go.
We can't turn back now. Ain't got nowhere to go. There's gotta be another way through.
Well, we've got a way to go. See? Solution!
It's about time. What took you?
And with that, let's move on to the next FSR setting. Well, now let's turn it down to AMD FSR Balanced here. We're going to leave everything else precisely as it was. But just as a little proof, there you guys go. So, now that we've gotten to the bottom, let's go ahead and go and see how Balanced does. Probably still not quite enough for a 30 plus experience. Probably going to drop under 30 no matter what, really. Until we get to 720p base resolution anyway. But even that might not be good enough. But hey, enough blabbing. Let's get into the game. Now, here we go with some balanced FSR here, with a base of 1080p anyway, and then medium settings beyond that. Yep, like I thought, still drop a little under 30 here and there, but not the end of the world. Especially for a game like this, I'm surprised this runs at all on the Steam Deck or the Ally, to be honest with you. This is not an
You
easy
ever
game
hear
to
about
run.
the North Pole?
That
To be honest,
old
I don't
fairy
see
tale?
why. It's not.
Yeah.
It looks alright,
Like
but
this ward.
it's not the
Old
greatest
white
looking
guy
game at all.
founds it, food
I mean,
and fresh
there's
water,
plenty of games
everyone
that
gets
run
along.
better on this thing.
That sounds like the fairy tale to me. It's probably just a couple old timers holed up underground. I just hope they got a few supplies for trade. Otherwise, we won't last much longer out here. You think people actually live like this?
Not sure.
I don't know what's in that Fulton's original blend, but I never
They got
seen
good
nobody
shit
that
in there.
before. In real life.
Good shit. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure like a long time ago there actually used to be legit cocaine in Coca-Cola. But that might have just been an old wives' tale that's been passed around so often that everyone thought it was true. Up. Nope, we're back to crashing again. Fantastic. So you let me play on quality, no problem, but then you're going to sit here and crash on medium settings FSR, huh? Cool. Yep, this is one of the cool parts about having an Ally. Lots of times you try to play games and this is what happens. So, I guess we'll tone it down to low and that's going to invalidate the tests kinda, but I don't really care at this point. Just don't care. Alright. I'm just going to leave it on medium just to keep it the same. It'll probably still crash, but it is what it is. So, let's get back into the game. Well, now we're going to keyword attempt to get a little gameplay here with FSR on balance. Or no, on performance now, I believe. Let's just double check real quick. I don't want to tell you guys the wrong one. Oh, we're at FSR Performance now, so we'll give ourselves a little gameplay here, unless it crashes, but if it does, you'll see.
You ever hear about the North Pole?
That old fairy tale?
Yeah, like this ward. Old white guy founds it, food and fresh water, everyone gets along. That sounds like the fairy tale to me. It's probably just a couple old timers holed up underground. I just hope they got a few supplies for trade. Otherwise, we won't last much longer out here. You think people actually live like this?
Not sure.
I don't know what's in that Fulton's original blend, but I never seen nobody that happy before. Not in real life. Locked. Great. Turn back now. Ain't got nowhere to go. There's gotta be another way through. It's about time. What took you?
Alright, grab that. Eat it. And with that, we can move on to the next FSR setting. Alright, last up on 1080p FSR anyway is Ultra Performance. Still going to try running on medium. Now that might cause it to crash. Didn't last time, but we did have one crash on balanced, so you still just might not be able to have any medium settings at 1080p base. But let's go find out. See if this one crashes or not. Here's Ultra Performance with a 1080p base, FSR I should say, and medium settings, which seem to cause it to crash still sometimes even at this low resolution. Probably because it's still upscaling it and all that stuff, so even though it's not really running at it, it's still probably just like, oh, can't handle it or something like that. Because the base is still 1080p. We'll see if it crashes at all at any of the settings at 720 or
You
not.
ever hear about the North Pole?
That old fairy tale?
Yeah, like this ward. Old white guy founds it, food and fresh water, everyone gets along. That sounds like the fairy tale to me. It's probably just a couple old timers holed up underground. I just hope they got a few supplies for trade. Otherwise, we won't last much longer out here. You think people actually live like this?
Not sure.
I don't know what's in that Fulton's original blend, but I never seen nobody that happy before.
Yeah, in this
real
kind of
life.
world, we probably never will.
Locked. Great. We can't turn back now. I don't know where to go. There's gotta be another way to go. It's about time. What took you?
Everything.
Anyway, now on to my settings.
So here's the settings I would run if I was going to be running at a base of 1080p. I'd have to turn FSR on first and foremost. We'd try quality, and then we just gotta have the rest of everything's all on low for the most part. Because I don't know which one of those settings of medium is causing it to crash over and over again, but
That's no fun, so I'd rather it have lower graphics and just actually run, you know? You know, guys, I usually try to like make it look nice too, but that ain't happening here. Right now, we're just trying to get this thing to be playable without crashing, at least at 1080p base. Hopefully 720p will work a little better in our favor.
so now, here we go with my settings, which immediately have crashed.
Awesome! So no, this game is just not playable at 1080p. As far as I'm concerned, it's just gonna crash no matter what, completely randomly. It makes there's no reason or rhyme before it. It just crashes over and over again at 1080p. Hell, it might crash no matter what we do. But there we go, another crash, awesome. So now I'm gonna just say screw my settings. This game's just not playable at 1080p is what I'm gonna say for my settings. So let's just go ahead and try toning it down to 720p now.
Alright, now we're going to try doing some 720p resolution. Now we're going to try Ultra with no FSR. It's probably going to crash over and over again and whatnot, just like it did at 1080p. But I'm hoping we can get this to a stage where it's actually playable. But
This game might just crash on the Ally no matter what. So let's go give it a shot.
well, let's try to move on Ultra at 720p without the game crashing on us constantly. Obviously, we're not getting the most playable FPS right now, but more than that, I'm curious if it crashes. I mean, this is still playable on some people, because some people play on the Switch, and the Switch drops all the way down to like 20 to 18 FPS at times in certain games, so. Me, I wouldn't want to play at this kind
You
of
ever hear about the
FPS,
North
but
Pole?
we'll still go at least up to
Fairy
the.
tale?
Yeah, like this ward.
We'll go up here a little bit.
White guy founds it. Food and fresh
Get
water.
40 FPS
Everyone
gameplay
gets
there,
along.
and keep in mind, this could crash any second
That
now.
sounds like the
No
fairy tale
idea.
to me. It's probably just a
I have
couple
no idea
old
what's
timers
causing that.
holed
If it's
up
just the
underground.
game, the Ally
They
just being, it doesn't
they
know
got
what it
some
is, so it
supplies
doesn't
to
want to
trade.
work. I don't know.
Otherwise, we won't
But
last much
that's
longer.
not very good FPS.
So let's go ahead and tone the FPS, or not turn the FPS, but let's turn the graphics down a little bit.
Well, now we're going to try high, which is honestly probably going to be more of the same, pretty much unplayable, but I still want to test anyway. Hell, it might crash on us the second we try to move. This game is completely random and makes no sense.
So I have no idea when or why it does what it does. So let's get back to the game and we'll see if it crashes or see how playable the frame rate is now.
Well, now here's high graphic settings, or at least attempting to do it. We'll see if it crashes. Ultra didn't, but that doesn't mean a thing. We've had lower graphic settings crash,
You ever
like
hear
on low.
about
I
the
tried to do
North
my graphic settings at 1080p
Fairy
low,
tale?
and I couldn't even
Yeah.
take a step. Instantly
Like this
crashed,
war.
even after doing better graphic
White guy
settings than that
pounds
for
it.
like 2 or 3
Food and
minutes.
fresh water.
So,
Everyone gets along.
game doesn't make much sense.
That sounds like the fairy tale to me. It's probably just a couple old timers holed up underground. I just hope they got a few supplies for trade. Otherwise, we won't last much longer out here. You think people actually live like this?
Anyway, though, still not really getting the best
Sure.
FPS, but
I don't know what's in that.
It is
Fulton's
what it
original
is.
blend, but I never seen nobody that had it before. Not in real life.
Alright, let's kick this rock out of her shoe or whatever the hell's wrong with her ankle, and let's get to running. I'm just curious if it's going to crash or not, you know?
Locked.
And there is! Ta-da!
It's about time. What took you?
Anyway, now on to the next setting.
Well, now let's try some medium at 720p now. As you can see, the preset is on medium. So,
Now that we've gotten that all out of the way, why don't we go ahead and go and see if medium plays well and if it crashes or not.
well, now let's do low at 720p here. Or not low, but medium. And we're actually getting playable FPS now. Without FSR or anything. Well, that's pretty nice. Unless I got the narrow, I'm pretty sure we're only on medium. Whoop. Yeah, we're on medium. So that's pretty good. Still, might drop a little under 30 here and there
You
at
ever
some
hear about
spots,
the
but
North Pole?
still,
That old fairy tale?
not bad.
Yeah, like this ward.
So
Old
we
white
might
guy
not even
founds
need
it, food and fresh water,
FSR.
everyone gets along.
Heck, my settings should probably just be consist of
That
medium and
sounds
low
like the
settings for
fairy
this
tale
kind of game.
It's probably just a
About all you
couple
can hope for.
old-timers holed up underground. I just hope they got a few supplies for trade. Otherwise, we won't last much longer out here. You think people actually live like this?
Not sure.
I don't know what's in that Fulton's original blend, but I never seen nobody that happy before. Not in real life.
Off we go then.
Locked. Great. We can't turn back now. Ain't got no way to go. There's gotta be another way through. It's about time. What took you?
Alright, now let's tone her down to low.
Now for low before we get into the FSR settings here. And alright.
Not too many settings in this to look at either, so now why don't we go ahead and get into the game.
Well, here we go. On low settings now. Getting very similar FPS to medium, so I wouldn't rather put everything on low anyway. Probably can take a couple things and put them on low, put a couple things on medium. That's what I'm going to try anyway.
You ever
For
hear
my
about the
settings.
North Pole?
That old fairy tale?
Ooh, my
Yeah.
camera's down to
Like
one
this
bar.
ward.
Hopefully I have enough to at least
Old
get...
white guy founds it. Food and fresh water, everyone gets
Oh.
along.
Done with low here.
That sounds
Probably
like
have to
fairy
plug in
tale
my
to me.
camera here.
It's probably
And
just
might as
a
well plug
couple
this thing into it.
old-timers
It's going to be
holed
down
up
under the
underground.
30s here soon.
Just hope they got a few supplies
Plug
for
everything
trade.
in, eat my dinner,
Otherwise,
and then I
we
can
won't
come
last
back
much
and do
longer.
some FSR and my settings after that.
You think people actually live like this?
Not sure.
I don't know what's in that Fulton's original blend, but I never seen nobody that happy before. Not in real life. Locked. Great. We can't turn back now. We don't know where to go. There's gotta be another way through. It's about time. What took you?
Everything. Everything took me.
But in any case, it's time to plug in these devices, eat some dinner, and then we'll come back and do some FSR. And then at the very end, my settings. And hopefully my settings won't crash this time. Alright, never mind. Before I did all that,
I decided let's get the settings real quick beforehand. Then I can just pop right back in and jump right into the gameplay. So we're going to start off with FSR on quality at 720p base, and I'm going to run it on medium because medium didn't seem to be crashing this time at 720, so should be a pretty good uptick. Or it won't change the FPS much at all. Either way, we'll find out after these things charge and after I eat me some dinner. Well, now we're going to try to do some FSR on 720p base now. Let's just get a little game plan, see what we get. We're already getting pretty playable FPS with it on medium beforehand. So now you can get the same, maybe a little bit more. But it seems to be very similar, to be perfectly honest with you.
That old fairy tale?
Yeah, like this ward. Old white guy founds it. Food and fresh water, everyone gets along. That sounds like the fairy tale to me. It's
So much
just
fairy
a couple
tale.
old timers holed up underground. I just hope they got a few supplies for trade. Otherwise, we won't last much longer out here. You think people actually live like this?
They might.
Not sure.
I don't know what's in that Fulton's original blend, but I never seen nobody that happy before.
First time I heard her
Not
sound
real
great, but I
life.
want some. And now we run! Sounds like we got another thunderstorm rolling in.
Locked. Great. Can't turn back now. Ain't got nowhere to go. There's gotta be another way through. It's about time. What took you?
Alright, and on to the next FSR setting. Alright, toning the FSR down to balanced now, leaving everything else the same as it was before, as you can see right there. So, with that all out of the way, hey, why don't we jump back in and we'll see if balance makes a difference or not, or if it's going to be more of the same. Well, now we got ourselves some FSR balanced now. And we may be getting a couple FPS more, but it seems to be very similar. We were getting like 46, 47 right here before, yeah. So, it's not really doing much. I think we're at such a low resolution,
You ever hear
FSR
about
ain't
the
gonna really
North
help us out in it.
That old fairy tale?
But still wanted to do it
Yeah.
just for fun.
Like this ward. Old white guy founds it. Food and fresh water, everyone gets along. That sounds like the fairy tale to me. It's probably just a couple old timers holed up underground. I just hope they got a few supplies for trade. Otherwise, we won't last much longer out here. You think people actually live like this?
Not sure.
I don't know what's in that Fulton's original blend, but I never seen nobody that happy before. Not in real life. Locked. Great. We can't turn back now. I don't know where to go. There's gotta be another way. It's about time. What took you?
And on to the next FSR setting. So, let's go through the settings again here. We're going FSR Performance now. All medium settings still. Beyond that. So, now with that out of the way, let's go get into the game. Now for that FSR Performance now. And honestly, looks like we're getting about the same FPS
You
we were
ever hear
getting,
about the North
so
Pole?
That
it isn't
old
really going to
fairy
help
tale?
us out much. Honestly, this is
Yeah.
pretty pointless,
Like
but
this
I'm just
war.
doing this to be thorough.
Old white guy founds it.
It's still playable
Food and fresh
FPS,
water,
and I kind of want to see if it
everyone
crashes or anything more than anything.
That
Oh,
sounds
wow,
like
it's
the fairy
really
tale to me.
pouring out there now.
Probably just a couple old timers holed up underground. I just hope hope they got a few supplies for trade. Otherwise, we won't last much longer out here. You think people actually live like this?
Not sure.
I don't know what's in that Fulton's original blend, but I never seen nobody that happy before. Not in real life.
Alright, time for us to be able to run again. Oops.
Locked. Great. We can't turn back now. Ain't got nowhere to go.
There you go. You have been let in.
It's about time. What took you?
In any case, let us move on to the very last FSR setting. Alright, now to finish things up with the FSR, we're going to do Ultra Performance. Everything else is still the same as it was before. So, why don't we go and see if this makes a difference? I'm willing to bet probably not, but, well, besides it looking like bad. Anyway. Alright, here's some Ultra
You ever hear about the
Performance.
North Pole?
That old fairy tale?
Yeah, like this ward. Old white guy found it.
Wow, this
Food
actually
and
made the
fresh
performance
water,
go up a
everyone
little.
gets along.
Looks like absolute trash, but we were only getting
That
46
sounds
or
like the fairy
47
tale to me.
FPS through here
It's
before.
probably just
Now
a
we're getting
couple
54,
old-timers
55,
holed up
so
underground.
the very last one
Supplies
actually did
for
something a little
trade.
bit, but I think that makes this like
Otherwise, we won't last much
240p or
longer.
something upscaled to 720p or something like that, so it's not exactly great looking.
You think people actually live like this?
Not sure.
I don't know what's in that Fulton's original blend, but I never seen nobody that happy before. Not in real life.
Alright, let's be off.
Locked. Great. We can't turn back now. Ain't got nowhere to go. There's gotta be another way through. It's about time. What took you?
And with that, why don't we try some of my settings now? So now here we go with my settings for 720p. We don't need no upscaler. We're just gonna go with 2 things on low and the rest on medium. So now let's hop back in the game and we'll see how my settings do. Here we go with my settings at 720p
You
now.
ever hear about the North Pole?
And I just wanted to
Fairy
stay
tale?
above 30 FPS,
Yeah.
so
Like this ward.
I think we will with these
Old
settings.
white guy found it. Food and fresh water, everyone
Now it
gets
doesn't look like
along.
absolute garbage.
That sounds like the fairy tale to me. It's probably just a couple old timers holed up underground. I just hope they got a few supplies for trade. Otherwise, we won't last much longer out here. You think people actually live like this?
Not sure.
I don't know what's in that Fulton's original blend, but I never seen nobody that happy before. Not in real life.
Away! Off we run.
Locked. Great. We can't turn back now. Ain't nowhere to go. There's gotta be another way through. It's about time. What
You're
took
damn right it is. What took you so long to get in that doorway? Alright, come on over here and let's get this door open. we go.
Oh, this is bad. This is bad with a side of broccoli.
A side of what?
Nothing. Something my mom used to say. Nice shooting. Hey, that don't count, by the way.
But in any case, why don't we now go ahead and wrap this video on up now?
Well, alright guys, that is a wrap for Remnant II on the Asus Ally, and it actually plays pretty good at 720p. 1080p was kind of hit or miss unless you used FSR, in which case we all know it's not 1080p anymore. So if you're going to play this game, I would play it at 720p with a mixture of medium and low setting. That gets you over the 30 FPS. Most of the time it's in the 40s to 50s as a matter of fact. And since this thing has a variable refresh rate, FSR, it barely even notice any like lag or stutter or anything like that. So that's one of the cool parts about this thing. So, both this and the Steam Deck can play the game. This quite a bit better. This is way more playable than the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck was borderline unplayable, but it could still be played. This was actually a pretty decent experience, at least at 720p anyway. 1080p wasn't much better than the Steam Deck was. In any case, that is about all I got for you guys for this particular video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.